Shut up and sit down.
Hey everybody, it's Cliff Taylor, and we are here at Poke the Bear, and the bear we're going to poke today is this election, man. Actually, the last election, really. We're going to talk about the last election, and the first thing I want to talk about is Donald Trump was not supposed to win. Hilary Clinton should have been president of the United States. You don't believe me? Ask the Republican Party, ask the Democratic Party, ask the mainstream media, ask the lamestream media, ask the print media, ask the man on the street. Everybody knew Hillary Clinton was going to win. That is why the Republican Party didn't put anybody up and let them get beat up in the primaries the way that the Democrats would have. Actually, the Democrats did this time, really. But I digress. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, so the Republican Party saw Hillary Clinton throw her hat into the ring. And when she threw her hat in the ring, there were some token Democrats that also threw their hat in the ring. But none of them had any chance whatsoever of actually becoming president of the United States. Hillary Clinton was to be the president of the United States. She had been ordained by Obama and by the mainstream media as it is her turn. And they actually said that on numerous occasions. They said, it's her turn. And you know what I say to that? Screw that. That's the stupidest thing in the world. You can't say, oh, it's time for this, so we're going to have this. Okay, I guess it was time for a businessman, and that's why we got a businessman. So what happened was this. The Democratic Party knew that it was going to be Hillary Clinton, and they knew that Hillary was going to win, and they knew there wasn't going to be any chance that anybody was going to be able to do anything about it. And the Republican Party, they had a meeting, and they said, yeah, okay, so we need to put, who's our golden boy? Well, Marco Rubio is our golden boy. We also got this guy, Ted Cruz, we really like him too, and these are really good future candidates for the presidency. So let's put them in. Get them in the water, let them see how well they swim, and then we'll pull them out, and we'll put in just a token candidate to run against Hillary and lose. Okay? That's what was decided. That is why the American people weren't really given a fair shake. Okay? Actually, no, I guess the American people were given a fair shake. I'll backtrack on that. They were absolutely given a fair shake. But what happened was this. Donald Trump jumped into the race. Donald Trump was not supposed to win. He wasn't even supposed to become the candidate, but he actually started winning primaries. So the Republican Party said, oh, cool, we can have Donald Trump be the candidate and nobody will care because when he loses, he wasn't really a Republican anyway. That is exactly what the scenario was. But what the Democrats didn't foresee and what the mainstream media didn't foresee was Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders beat the living crap out of Hillary Clinton during the primary. Oh my gosh, he smacked her upside the head with a wet fish and she was like, oh, what the heck's going on? There's nobody supposed to be running against me. Who's this Bernie Sanders guy? Do everything you can. I need to win. And the DNC and mainstream media did everything they can to smear Bernie and to promote Hillary. And people weren't having it. But what happens in those cigar smoke-filled rooms in the back that the DNC and the RNC live in together? They made a deal, and Bernie became a millionaire, and Bernie endorsed Hillary Clinton, and so now Hillary Clinton, the ordained one, was to be the nominee for the Democratic Party, and she went out there and I will be your next president of the United States, and everybody's like, yeah! On the Republican side, Donald Trump was saying things like, I don't like these guys. You don't like these guys. I don't like the guys over there. Vote for me. What have you got to lose? And when he said those words, what have you got to lose? The American people said, you're right. What have we got to lose? And so the American people elected Donald Trump. And the mainstream media said all of our polling shows that Donald Trump has a less than 10% chance to win. And he won, and they lost their damn minds. Okay? They lost it. They were embarrassed. They were... there we go. They were embarrassed. They were absolutely aghast that somebody could come in and play in their sandbox. The Democrats were like, what the absolute what? And the Republicans are like, holy crap, he won. It absolutely was not supposed... He turned everything on its head. I didn't vote for the man. I voted the freaking Green Party in 2016. And that is what happened. The American people, for the people, by the people, of the people. Whether or not somebody, took out a freaking ad on Facebook and they were Russian, that doesn't matter. The Russians did not cast a freaking ballot. And if you think by any stretch of the imagination that the American government does not interfere in every single election around this planet, you are smoking some amazing weed, and send some to me, because absolutely I want to be as freaking high as you are. Now, that being said, what happened afterwards was an utter embarrassment, and to try to explain away the incompetence of the polling, the disregard of the American people, and the system for which our government stands. The mainstream media, the Democratic Party, the Never-Trumpers, they all joined together and created a narrative that they then were allowed to run with as much as they wanted, for as far as they wanted, because it was against Donald Trump. It was not a presidency that was supposed to be, and so it wouldn't be allowed to succeed. And the funniest thing about all of this, the thing that absolutely just makes me chuckle, is the fact that even with everything in his way, he said he wanted to do X, Y, Z. He wanted to bring our troops home, and he's brought troops home. And he's been trying to bring our troops home, and it's been the Republicans and the Democrats that are saying, no, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. And he has done what he can, I believe. I could be wrong. He could be a backroom dealer going, yeah, we want to be in a lot more wars. I gotta snow people over. And if that's the fact, I mean, you know what? Then I will absolutely sit here and apologize for misreading that. But I'm 99% sure that that's not what he wants, because he's a businessman and he's been running America like a business. You can't actually run a country like a business, but you can actually run a lot of the aspects of the country like a business. Excuse me. So he wanted to do that. He wanted to build a border fence. According to the numbers, over 450 miles of new border fence. I think it's 450. It might be 400. 400 to 450 miles of new border fence. And what that means is absolutely new border fence and replace border protections. So they've built that. That's a good thing. Anybody who says that, walls are a bad thing, I want you to go to every single community that has a gate and tell them to tear down their walls and tell them to open their gates and let anybody who wants to cross into that, cross into that. Everybody who has a fence around their freaking house, you got to tear that down. Otherwise, you're a freaking hypocrite. Okay? Now, on to the last thing that they said he wanted to do. Donald Trump said that he wanted to... it was trade. He wanted to get rid of the trade agreements and make new trade agreements. He wanted trade agreements to be good to bring jobs back to America. And he's done that. Has he done it to the level that we should be like bowing down to him? Absolutely not. He still has work to do. That's why I have decided to throw my hat in behind him. It wasn't an easy decision. I campaigned for Andrew Yang. I campaigned for Tulsi Gabbard. I donated to both of their campaigns. And I actually campaigned and told people to vote for Bernie Sanders over Joe Biden for months and months and months. And when Joe Biden got the nomination, I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And then what tipped it off, what actually pushed me out of or pushed me to vote for Donald Trump, was the absolute disregard for the American people and protecting American lives, protecting American businesses, and protecting American interests when it came to these lawless acts of utter and total violence. I am 1,000% for protest. Absolutely protest. Protesting is American. It goes all the way back. The Boston Tea Party. People say, "Oh, the Boston Tea Party, that was violent too." Not to the level you're talking about. They didn't try to shoot anybody. They just dumped some tea. And actually, I believe that the numbers ended up being something along the lines of, if you were to look at the value of the tea to the value from then to today, we're talking a couple like $15,000 to $20,000. It's not even a lot of money. There have been billions of dollars worth of damage done across the country. And now people are going, well, the government can just pay for that. Why? Oh, government? You mean the state government? Okay, the state government didn't stop that? Fine, they can pay for it. Oh, they don't have any money? Why? Oh, because you're too busy giving away, you're calling healthcare a right, and so you're paying for it? It's not a right. Why isn't it a right? You only have the right to do things you can do for yourself. You don't have the right to anybody else's labor. Oh, wow, what a concept. Do you have the right to seek health care if it's available? Absolutely. And you even have the right to be cared for. But you don't have the right to force somebody to care for you. Do you understand the difference? It's kind of a nuanced thing. And I actually believe that we should have a better healthcare system. I'm not even completely against a single-payer program. I just think that you cannot tell a doctor you have to do this and you are only allowed to have this much for doing it. That's wrong. That is not a fair market system. That is not what we need. We need to have a fair market system because without a fair market system, people don't try to innovate. People don't try to make things better. How many things has the Chinese government invented? Or not Chinese government, Chinese businesses invented? I'll wait. Have they invented stuff? Yeah, they probably have. But what's their driving force? Their driving force is to make money, and what they've been doing is they've been taking things that have been created and developed in other countries, like Apple products, Samsung products. They create knockoffs of these things, and then they take and they improve them a little bit, but they didn't innovate any of that because they do not have a system, a social system that promotes that promotes being innovative. Now, that's what it is. Now, let's go. I got way off track here, so let's just go back and finish this up. The 2020 election is a referendum on the decision that was made in 2016. Was that decision the right decision? Was that decision the wrong decision? Hey, cool, got a message. If Donald Trump wins and doesn't win the popular vote, you're going to have people saying, see, this is why we need to get rid of this. We need to have the popular vote. Popular vote would be the worst thing in the world to elect a leader because all that becomes is a popularity contest. If you believe that direct democracy is the way things need to be, no. You need to go back and read your history and understand the only reason that the Athenian Empire collapsed was because they were always going to war. Do you know why they were always going to war? People made money when they were rowing the longboats. Okay, when they were rowing the biremes and the triremes. Triremes? I don't remember now. When they were rowing these boats, that's how they made money. So if the government wasn't at war with somebody, they were out of work. And that's what a direct democracy does. It allows the mob to decide what everybody has and everybody gets to do. That is a terrible, terrible, terrible system. Because when you have mob rule, you also have people that come to power like Mussolini, like Lenin, like Stalin, like Hitler. You do not want the mob to rule. But that's all I'm going to say today. So thank you for coming out here. Be great to each other out there, and we will see you next time. I know it's been a while since I made a video. My wife was ill for a little while, and I was having some trouble with my car, and trying to make some money, do what needs to be done, and I also was doing some campaigning. So for not only, I wasn't doing a lot of presidential campaigning, I was doing some campaigning for a friend of mine who's running for a local election here, so hopefully he wins. I don't think that he will. I'm pretty sure that here in Central Florida, when you got a big D next to your name, it doesn't stand for Democrat, it stands for Disney, and if you have that big D, then Disney backs you in all things, and you back Disney in all things, and therefore, that's who gets elected, and and then Disney gets to continue to do whatever the hell they want here in Central Florida. So, yeah, that's it. Okay, so you guys have a great time. We'll talk to you later, and I'm out. Hey, you like my vest? I love this thing. I'm going to go ride my bike now. Stop recording. Stop.